Okay, I'm going to take you through exercise 7 of chapter 2. So I'm just using my student solutions, and I've opened up the templates for flowcharts just to help me out with the hierarchy chart. You can also do the hierarchy chart in students in Microsoft Word, but I'd like to save it for later on, so it's just easier. So let's start. It says draw a hierarchy chart to design the logic of a program that calculates the service charges for Hazel's housekeeping services. So the program contains housekeeping, detailed loop, and end of job modules. Okay, I'm just going to stop right there. Let's start our hierarchy chart. Pretty easy. All we're going to do here is we're going to insert, Smart Art, choose ourselves a hierarchy. I'm just going to choose that. And we don't need that one because we've only got 3 modules. So I'll just delete that. Our first one is main. And I'm just going to press Ctrl Z to take that away. Program. And then we've got our housekeeping. And it's a module. And I'm just going to take away my capitalization. Don't want it. Next one is detailed loop. So and last one is end of job. So pretty much that's our standard for our main program: housekeeping, detailed loop, end of job. So I'm just going to copy that and paste. I really like everything all in one place, so when I start studying for exams, I've got it all in one place. I'm not going to do the flowchart now, just go straight into Pseudocode. It's a bit more complicated to draw a flowchart. So I'm just going to open up Notepad++. Alright, in my Notepad++, I have already entered that my main program. Over here, this is my main programs. We got our start, stop. I'm going to insert all my declarations under declarated here, indented of course. Then comes my housekeeping module. Then comes my while with my condition. And within my while is my detailed loop. Then we have our end while. Of course, if we start our while, we have to end our while. And then we have our end of job module. Then we will be doing our inserting what's going to happen in our housekeeping. We're going to inserting what's going to happen in our detailed loop, and then we'll insert what's going to happen in our end of job. So this is pretty straightforward. If you're writing in exams, you'll just take your piece of paper and divide it into 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. 1 for your main, 1 for your housekeeping, 1 for your detailed loop, and 1 for your end of job module. Okay, so let's read our question. We need to highlight our variable names. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use green for my standard variable names. So we have a look. Okay, the housekeeping module displays a prompt. Okay, and accepts the customer's last name. So what are we doing? We are going to be getting customer's last name. So the housekeeping module will get customer's last name, first prompt, and then customer's last name. While the user does not enter ZZZ for the name, the detailed loop accepts the number of bathrooms. So we're getting a number of bathrooms and the number of other rooms to be cleaned. Okay, so we're going to be cleaning other rooms too. So we need to get those, fill those little boxes of memory with some values from the user. Then the service charge is computed as such. Okay, so we're going to have to do a bit of a calculation for a service charge. And they've given us a value. Service, the base rate is $40. So, okay, if the base rate is $40, that means it's not going to change within my program. So that's going to be my named constant. And $15 for each bathroom will be another named constant, as well as $10 will be another named constant. So let's start typing that. Okay, we've got our string, customer last name, num of bathrooms, num of other rooms, num service charge. Look at the variable names. They are beneficial and they are descriptive and they benefit the program. and they're easy to read and understandable. Next is our service charge. So we got our base rate, which is 40, our charge of our bathroom, and we got our charge of our other room. See that they are named constant, separated by underscores. They have to be one word, and they're all in uppercase to highlight that these do not change within our program. Okay, next one. They said that we enter ZZZ for a name. So that's going to be another named constant. So ZZZ will be our next named constant. So let's put that in. What other prompts can you see? Prompts are usually named constant. So what other prompts do we need? Okay, we're entering our last name. Prompt. Ooh, we need to prompt for bathroom, and we need to prompt for other rooms. So we're going to have prompt for other rooms, and we're going to have prompt for bathrooms as well. So let's start that. Okay, and then of course with every program you need a beautiful end of line, and that will go into our housekeeping. So we'll have a named constant, thank you for using this program, string inline. Now we're going to call on housekeeping. What is happening in housekeeping? Housekeeping is simply display the prompt for and accepts the customer's last name. So what are we doing? We are going to be outputting our named prompt, and then we're going to input the customer's last name. So we output name prompt, enter the customer's last name, input customer's last name. So the user is going to be storing our first customer's last name in housekeeping. Okay, next thing, while condition. Okay, see my quotations here, so it tells me that I need to put in my condition. What is my condition? My condition is user does not enter ZZZ. Okay, fine, I get it. Our customer name cannot be ZZZ, right? And we've made quit to be ZZZ. So I'm going to replace that with customer last name. This is an operator that says not. You'll learn more about operators later on. But customer last name does not be quit. So it mustn't be quit. Okay. So if it is quit, it's going to exit the loop. If it's not quit, then it's going to carry on in my detailed loop. Now, what is happening in my detailed loop? My detailed loop tells me that we are getting our bath prompt, we're getting our room prompts. So we've got to get those. Let's get them. So we've got our number of bathrooms and we've got our number of rooms. Then they say we need to calculate a service charge for those rooms. And they've told us exactly how we're calculating the service charge. We are taking the base charge, which is 40, plus $15 for each bathroom. So in other words, whatever the user has inputted, we are going to multiply that by the number of by our charge bath rates. So let's put that in so I can explain it to you. So we've got our charge base rate, which is 40. We've got our charge bath rate, which is 15. Number of bathrooms is getting inputted by the user. And charge room. Have I not put charge room? Charge other room. Charge, ooh, I made a mistake there. I'm terribly sorry about that. So that should be copy. That's what I love about Notepad++. You get to see if your programs don't correspond with their variable names, with their name variable names. So there's my named constant. Okay, $10 is multiplied by the number of my other rooms. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Okay, so we happy with that? Are we all done? Remember, this is a detailed loop. Detailed loop that is going to go on and on and on. Next customer, next customer, next customer. So what do we need to do is we need to output again the name prompt, and we need to get the next customer's name, and then calculate the service charge for the next customer. And then, of course, once we have done that, and let's say we've done all the customers we can for that day, we're going to type in ZZZZ, and it will exit our loop, and we'll go straight into, we'll be calling on our end of job module. So therefore, what's happening in our end of job module? All we're basically doing is just outputting our end of line. And our end of line, if you have a look, is thank you for using the program. Alright, I just want to take you through the flowchart quickly. This is what the flowchart would look like. If you had to draw the flowcharts, start the flowchart in your exams, they will ask you to do the main module. So you'll just divide your page up, your normal A4 page, you'll just divide it up into 4, and you'll have your main module here, you'll have your housekeeping, your detailed loop, and then of course your end of job. So for your start, we'll have your lozenge, your modules and return will also be lozenges. Remember, input and output are all parallelograms. And your declarations are in a rectangle, as well as your lovely processing. So we'll start into our flow lines. Remember, our housekeeping and all our modules are a rectangle with a line at the top. You'll see we go into our sentinel value here. Sentinel value, you'll see the flow lines goes into my detail loop up and just above the sentinel value. So it doesn't go all the way to the top of the housekeeping. It goes to above the sentinel value. And then once that sentinel value has equated to a false, then or no question answer, then we go into our end of job. That concludes a walkthrough through exercise 7.